Welcome to YouTube channel, Automoto Tour. A channel about cars, motorcycles, travel and much more. In this video, check out my review of a new adventure and search for the center of the world. Croatia, Ludbreg, September 12, 2020. Saturday, 12 o'clock, the siren marks the end of working hours. I turn off the computer, put on my motorcycle equipment and give gas, head towards Ludbreg, straight towards the center of the world. It was a beautiful sunny day, just made for the search for the center of the world. I think everyone knew about this legend that Ludbreg is the center of the world, and we know it from the famous sanctuary of the precious blood of Jesus. These were the two main destinations, but there were also a few more stops along the way. Let's not mess around, let's go by some order. The mural of the moon can be seen on the wall of the Dronic house. An interesting street art. The author is Martin Rastic, who explained this work as follows: the moon is like the first space station from Earth to space and a symbol of cosmic infinity in which all our ideas and intentions have their place. Like author want to say to us, to move towards our dreams, to stop dreaming about them, but also to live them. If humans have managed to go to the moon, is there anything that is the problem in this world? After the mural, I go to the center of the world and there it is, it has been conquered. There are concentric circles center of the world. It is interesting to read on the boards the names of world cities and the distances to them. You really feel for a moment as if you are in the center of the world. There is a city clock right next to it, as well as a statue of the Holy Trinity. A little further on the square is a solar tree, and right on the other side of the square is the Church of the Holy Trinity. When I look a little closer, Ludbreg is one of the few places with so much details to see in such a small space. Exactly calls for a family day trip. In addition to already mentioned, there is also the Iovia Archaeological Park, animals made of straw, a promenade along the Bedja River, a park with Baťany Castle, a park with the Island of Youth, all within 1 kilometer circle, and really everything is beautifully landscaped. There is also the Fountain Lighthouse to the World, which was in the past located on the main town square, but it has been moved and is now located at Ludbreg's Wellspring, just outside the city center. At the time of my visit, it was not in a representative edition, so feel free to save steps and use that time to refresh yourself on the terrace of the cafe. The last destination in the center of the world was the sanctuary of the precious blood of Jesus. It is not that I'm some big believer, but for me God and the earthly church, including pastors, etc., are two different terms. With God, I decide for myself what I have to solve with Him, and I don't need anyone to mediate and share advice, for example, about the family, which He does not have as a pastor. Talk nicely about God, teach children not to lie, not to steal, avoid what you don't know, and especially don't get involved in politics, because that's where you fall in people's eyes. You fall like a stone through water, all honor to exceptions. With that, my wandering through the center of Ludbreg was over and I headed towards the periphery. I look for the Lavender Labyrinth, pass by it and don't see it, come back again, and only then do I realize it's at the top of the hill. As far as I was able to get information later, it is a former landfill, on top of which are planted more than 1,000 lavender seedlings in the shape of a labyrinth. There are also a few gazebos. I'm not convinced that the project came to life as planned, maybe in some future times. But something that has definitely succeeded and deserves respect, admiration and gratitude is the St. Vinko viewpoint. I must admit I was surprised with this project of making and setting up the statue of St. Vinko. The statue was placed along the main road in the direction Ludbreg, Koprivnica, above the settlement Globosek. The viewpoint is located on the Ludbreg Wine Road, which was opened in 2010. The statue itself is 7.4 meters high, and it is placed on a pedestal 8 meters high, made by sculptor Peter Kolarek, from Žadala. The credit for the very idea of this endeavor must be attributed to the Association of Wine Growers Trisic. Job well done, you have my bow. Information from the internet says that this is the tallest statue of St. Vinko in the world. The view from the statue platform reaches all the way to Hungary. The statue was blessed and opened to the public in 2011. And I have to say, sorry, but I just have to say. So I am on the Wine Road, next to the largest statue of St. Vinko in the world. The month of September, I feel hot, thirsty, and more than thirsty, dehydrated from driving all day, and I have to drink water that I bought before at the gas station. Are you following me? So again, for the 100th time, hard work, Money, toil, everything looks great, and now there is no one to sell you a glass of wine, maybe a small souvenir of St. Vinco. At least there is a vending machine with some decorative bottles of wine, mineral water, souvenirs. But no, nothing, zero, nada. I will never understand that in our mentality. A body invigorated by water, and a soul with a beautiful view, I slowly descend from the viewpoint, put on my equipment and go slowly to my home. As I drive home, I caught one detail with the corner of my eye. I see a bracket on the light pole, with a camera, and I just passed by. I had already passed a kilometer or so, but I couldn't help and I turned around and come back. So, we have a light pole, next to it a pole with a stork nest. Camera mount and internet antenna on the light pole. Congratulations to the author for the idea. If anyone has information on where to watch this live broadcast, please let me know. Definitely the idea is perfect. I have wondered 100 times how these poor storks live in that nest while the sun burns on them. If my memory serves me correctly, this nest is located in Varaždinska Street, in Polianek. Since I am writing this text more than a year later, here it is. Today is the first day of 2022, I must say that I photographed storks several times later. I even had the idea to take off with a drone and fly around the nest. But then again, I don't want to disturb the birds. I think it's more than enough for them to be in that sun, rain, wind, and it's better to avoid any air battle with my drone in self-defense. With that in my mind, I am slowly finishing writing about this small adventure. The day was really perfect and I definitely recommend everyone to visit Ludbreg and its surroundings. There is something to see and experience. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up, click on subscribe and bell, not to miss the following videos. Thanks and see you in the next videos.